You're watching Stewart Spotlight Podcast live with your host, William Stewart Jr. with topics of everyday life. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Today's guest, Diedra Johnson. Gourmet Chef. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode. Now your host, William Stewart Jr. Yes, good evening and welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. My name is William Stewart Jr. and I am your host this evening. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend good Lord. I hope everyone had a wonderful week and getting ready for the weekend. As I stated before, as I always state, the weekend go by so fast. Today is Friday, September the 12th. Already. Wow. I'd like to make a special note here. A week ago, we had Pam Cumberlander. She was from the property manager, and I didn't put her information on the screen, so people were calling me, was trying to get in contact with her. So if you are interested in contacting Pam Cumberlander, you can call her at that number there, 678-813-2500. Her company is AMP, Association Management Professional. She handles all of the HOAs, the do's, the don'ts, the pros, the cons, and things of that nature. Also, it's that time again. Right now, I need your support. Now you ask me, how could I support you? I'm glad you asked. You can do this. I need your support. I need you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and make sure you turn on your notifications. So therefore, every time you hear this, you know that Stewart Spotlight Podcast is live. Yes, that's right. Make sure you turn on all of your devices. And every time you hear that notification goes off, your cell phone, computer, laptop, turn on to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing, how you enjoying the show, so we can get some feedback from everyone. I have a message for the week. As I stated, Bud is one of my friends who always gives me messages once a week. He gives me a slew of messages, but I'm always finding one that really stands out. This week it says, when someone accuses you of something you didn't do, it's because they need a diversion to hide something that they're really doing behind your back. That's interesting. Let that marinate. That's interesting. Also, yesterday was 9/11. September 11, 14 years ago, we had a tragic attack on the U.S. Where 2,977 people were killed, 2,753 were killed at the World Trade Center, and 184 were killed at the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, and 40 were killed on Flight 93 going to Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So I have a little tribute that I would like to share with those individuals and their family. That was a little special a tribute to those individuals and their families who lost in 9/11. Today's guest. Today's guest is Diedra Johnson, a gourmet chef. A gourmet chef. A gourmet chef. We're going to see what she have cooking in the stove. And I've seen some of the pictures. Very tasty. But after this break, we'll come back with my special guest. Stay tuned. Yes, that's right. Make sure you visit our website and take a look at some of the things that we offer: t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, a slew of stuff. But as I stated before, today we have a special guest, Diedra Johnson, a gourmet chef. Let's see what she have in her stove. Welcome to the show, Miss Diedra Johnson. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I can't complain. How was your week this week?
It was good. Busy, but good.
Busy? Making all that dough. You get it? Dough.
I got you.
I got to tickle myself on that one. That was a pretty good joke. Anyway.
It was
Anyway, so Diedra, we're just going to get right into this cooking aspect because, you know, some people, well, such as myself, I don't do a lot of cooking, but if I have to, I will. But how long have you been cooking?
How long have I been cooking?
How long have you been cooking?
Since I was 9.
Since you were 9. Now you
So
told me
I got so many.
you told me a very interesting story about your grandma, about this
Oh,
corned
yeah.
beef. Do you want to share that a little bit?
Of course. So my grandmother on my dad's side is Mama Lou. She was, I guess she was like an early personal chef for her time.
Mm-hmm.
She cooked for a lot of different people. So her kitchen was stocked up. She had 2 stoves, 3 refrigerators. You know, she was always cooking for someone and delivering meals. So she was busy. She was out cooking for someone else. And she lived in Georgia. So every
Okay.
summer I would go down and stay with her for 2 weeks. And so while I was 12. And so when I was down there, she called and she was like, okay, I need you to go ahead and cook some corned beef. And I'm like, Grandma, I don't know how to cook corned beef. She's like, you're 12. You should know how to cook corned beef by now. Just, get this corned beef and cabbage done. Okay. So I had no idea. So to me, it looked like a piece of stew. And I watched my mom make stew before. So I cut it up into chunks and put it in some water, boiled it. And, I thought I was doing pretty good. And, once it got halfway tender-ish, I threw some cabbage in there. And I was like, okay, I thought I did a good. No. My grandmother came home and she was like, what did you do? And I was like, well, I thought, no. So she reprimanded me. And she said I was too old not to know how to cook corned beef or other things.
Wow.
So that was kind of my motivation from there, because I had to prove Grandma wrong. Grandma, I can cook. Okay.
So now, are you a self-learner?
I was originally self-taught by myself, and then learned things from both grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
And but I did formally go to culinary school probably when I was 26.
Okay. So now, while you were young, going through grade school, grammar school, and high school, was cooking one of your passion, or it was just picked up later?
Oh, well, I started when I was 9. So when I was 9, I was making cakes and things for my grandmother, my other grandmother
Wow.
on my mom's side, for her church, her women's social group.
Okay.
You know, I used to make cupcakes and all things like that, and they would be like, "Oh, can you make us a cake?" So yeah, I would make cakes for the women's social. They would keep asking, I would keep making them. They liked the way I decorated, and from there, it expanded. Not until later, not until when I was 12. I decided to try to learn some other things to impress grandma.
Okay. Such as, might as well share it now. You opened up a can of worms.
Oh, well, I mastered the corned beef for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was the main thing. So even if she would come to visit, Mama Lou was like, "Okay, did you get the corned beef to get?" I have perfection. Um, then I did pies and cakes because that was a lot of things that she did. One of her pineapple coconut cake is infamous, and yeah, I mastered that. Probably by the time I was 15, I mastered that one. And then I got into I never really got into frying or anything like that, but I will watch Justin Wilson. He's a Cajun chef, and people that know Justin Wilson used to be on PBS. If you know Justin Wilson, you know Justin Wilson. So that was where I really got into other things. I fell in love with Cajun and Creole cuisine.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
my next, I learned how to make gumbo and jambalaya.
Wow. At a younger age.
Yeah, probably by the time I was 16.
Okay. So there was no one really inspiring you to cook other than that was your passion. You just wanted to cook.
Yeah, I did, at the time I didn't know it was my passion. It was just something I like to do.
Okay.
But I did some other things along the way. But yeah, by the time I was about 26, when I decided to go to culinary school, I realized that that's what I truly, truly enjoy doing.
Okay. What's your favorite dish? What's your favorite dish?
My favorite
What
dish
is your favorite dish? And
to cook or to eat.
either or, cook and eat.
It probably is gumbo for sure.
Gumbo? Now you
Yeah,
put
that
all
is.
the seafood and everything in there as well?
Well, I can do different types. It depends on what you want. Because not everyone likes, some people have allergies and
Right,
things like that.
right,
But me,
right.
yes, I like all the seafood. All yes,
Okay. So
make
gumbo.
do your roux from scratch. Slow. It takes a long time to get the roux right and perfect.
Hmm, that's time consuming to me.
Yeah, no, the roux is everything. So if you get like what we call a light skin gumbo, that means someone didn't take the time to get the roux nice and dark, because there's a fine line between the dark roux and it burning. So it's a very fine line, but you want your roux nice and dark so you can get that smokiness flavor.
See, I I don't know how to cook gumbo, so I wouldn't know. I'll throw some stuff
Oh,
up in there and just say, okay, it's gumbo.
oh no, 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 no.
Okay,
Gumbo it's a love. You gotta put your whole heart in that.
okay. So after a long day of work, do you cook for yourself or you have someone else cook for you?
Oh no, I cook. Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe you're working. I'm tired of cooking.
Now
Somebody,
there are certain restaurants that I'll go to, but typically I cook for myself because I like my own food. It's not gonna taste right.
so are you a stickler for certain tastes and season?
I am, but so like when I go places, people are afraid to cook for me. They be like, "Oh, she's gonna." I'm not judgmental, but I like what I like. So if you cook something for me and it's not perfect, okay, I'll still eat it. You know,
And you'll criticize later.
no, on the inside.
Oh, so it's
I,
all
yeah,
within.
yes, I would never criticize unless you ask. Now, if you ask, then I'll tell you.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll make sure I won't cook for you then.
No, you can see.
you never
You can
you
cook for
you
me.
never criticize my cooking like. Oh no, no, never mind.
No, no, no. You're not. You're not. I'm really not there. I'm really not there, because most people. most people can cook. I'm not like a super stickler for things, but I like good flavor. And the most that people do is they overdo it. They try to do too much. The best dishes are very, very simple.
Okay, so if you weren't a chef, what other career you would have chose?
Ooh, never had that question before.
Ah, that's why you're on Stewart Spotlight.
If I wasn't a chef,
Right. If
well,
you
I mean, I dabbled early on with cosmetology, but I don't think. I mean, as much as I liked it, I don't think that was where my heart was at. I really don't know.
so let that marinate.
Maybe, maybe a teacher.
Really?
Maybe, but really, I don't. At this point, there is nothing else.
Okay. I'm going to show a little clip of some of the food you have prepared.
Okay.
Take a look at this. So now, by looking at that, I got hungry already. but anyway, so is it time consuming to prepare certain foods, or is it just like whip it up since you're a chef, whip it up and taste? I mean, and go with it.
Well, usually the first time you develop a new recipe, that's time consuming because you're trying to make sure you get your measurements right, the taste balance, and things like that. But once you have the recipe down, nah, it's pretty quick. Unless it's something like a stew or something like that needs to be slow cooked. But
Okay.
otherwise, yeah, I whip up stuff pretty quickly.
Okay. Now, I picked three, and you tell me a little bit about this one right here. Now,
Oh, that's chicken and dumplings.
that's chicken dumpling.
Yeah, chicken and dumplings.
That's with carrots, peas, and big dumplings. I'm assuming.
Those are actually rosemary dumplings.
Okay, so now is that an easy fix to whip up and prepare?
Yeah, chicken and dumplings is pretty quick, probably about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So, you start with your chicken breast, and you can either start with a pre-made broth or make your broth from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to boil the chicken in the broth, but you want to be careful not to overcook the chicken. So once the chicken's done, you take it out. So then that's when you start building the rest of the chicken and dumplings. You make a roux, and that thickens the sauce. You add your seasonings in, garlic, onions, celery. You throw your carrots and peas in there, some rosemary. Now off to the side, while that's cooking and coming together, you make the dough for the rosemary dumplings. Once you make your dough, I'm not gonna tell you that's the secret. Once you make your dough for the rosemary dumplings and your broth starts to boil, then you take a spoonful of the dumpling batter, drop it right into the broth, let it boil, cover it for about 15, 20 minutes until the dumplings start to float and they're nice and fluffy and soft. And then you add your chicken back in. It's ready to go.
Now, could you overcook dumpling?
You can, because if you overcook them, they start to fall apart.
Okay.
Yeah, they get too soft. But usually once they start, once it floats to the top, it's done.
Wow. Okay. I have another. I have two more. Now,
Okay.
I'm a basic person on something like this. You give me some greens and some meat and rice and cornbread. I'm sold. So what's the story on this one?
That is a mustard caper pork chop with
Pork chop.
with orzo. which is, it's like the rice form, the pasta form of rice. It's about the same size as rice, but it's actually pasta.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, collard greens and cornbread.
I mean, it just rolled off your tongue. Just cornbread. Okay, my last favorite is this.
Oh, the tuna niçoise salad.
A tuna what salad?
Oh, that's a tuna. Oh no, that's the pasta though. It's a tuna niçoise pasta.
Okay, break that down.
So that's well, typically the that's why I said salad, because originally it was a salad, but I turned it into a pasta. So it's fresh tuna that's seared. That's why you see it's still pink in the middle. Because tuna, you don't want to cook it all the way through. It gets very dry if you cook it all the way through.
Wow.
So fresh tuna that's seared, and then you make the pasta separately, and then that it has tomatoes, asparagus, olives. I'm forgetting something. I think that was it. Put my picture back up.
Oh, there you go, right there. I'll tell you right there.
Yeah, no, that's it. Tomatoes, asparagus, olives, and then the sauce for it is really just an olive oil garlic base. Just saute some garlic and olive oil and toss it all together with your seared tuna over the top. It's very light, very healthy. You put a little squeeze of fresh lemon across there. That's all it takes.
So presentation it means a lot then, I'm assuming.
Oh, of course, you eat with your eyes first.
Eat with your eyes.
You do. So if you see something and it doesn't look appealing to you, do you get excited about trying to eat it?
Because when I was just looking at this picture, so it seems so you have to prepare it and then put the meat on it. It's just together.
I mean, it looks very complicated. But so you take the pot, pasta out of the pot. You just kind of, swirl it onto the plate, slice the tuna, and just lay it across the top.
Cause see, I would have took it out the pot, threw it on the plate, and just mix it all up, and be done with it. That's just me. So
I mean, that can look good as well.
It would taste good.
It can. But you want to showcase the tuna because it's nicely seared. You want to see the pink. You just kind of want to showcase a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very simple. Some people do very elaborate presentations. My presentations tend to be pretty basic.
Okay. So now, do you cook with butter or olive oil?
It depends on what I'm preparing.
So
for health, I'm a personal chef and caterer.
Okay.
So for personal chef side, I mostly use olive oil for health reasons because it's a healthy oil.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some things just call for butter. So if I'm doing a seared steak with an herb butter, of course, gotta use butter.
Now, does people have allergies with butter versus olive oil?
I mean, I've never had anyone had an allergic to butter. More so, it's for health reasons like cholesterol, things like that. But no, never had anyone had. I'm sure it can be because you can be allergic to anything.
That's so true. So now, have you cooked for celebrities or dignitaries or things of that nature?
Yeah, I've quite a few. Just to call for a couple. So I've cooked for Dwight Howard and his wife. There was I don't know if everybody remembers Dr. Ian. He was the diet guru. Yeah, I cooked for him.
Yeah, really?
He used to like biscuits.
He like
buttermilk biscuits was his favorite.
Really? Oh wow! So now, when you cook are they for themselves or for a group of people?
For both of those, it was personal chefs. So I would cook just for their families.
Okay.
So each week I would come up with a custom menu for them based off of their preferences, likes and dislikes. I create a menu for them, prepare the menu, and then deliver it to them.
Oh wow! Now I believe you did something for another Otis Wilson.
Oh yes! Oh, I love Otis. Yes, 85 Chicago Bears.
Right.
So I did some personal chef things for him as well as catered a couple events, and then he asked me to put together a program for his foundation for the youth because he had a after school program for the youth.
Okay.
And he actually put together a nutritional cooking class for them. So I did. I developed a program to teach them basic cooking skills and also teach them some nutritional guidelines to follow when they're shopping or preparing meals. And so I did that for 3 years. It was fun. I love working with the kids.
Okay. So how many people have you actually cooked for in a group? What's the largest and what's the smallest?
The largest is that 1,200 people.
1,200?
Yeah, 1,200 people.
How long did it take you to prepare for 1,200 people?
About a week. From planning to ordering things and execution. The actual cooking happens the prep and stuff happens the day before, and some cooking happens the day before and the day of. But there's a lot of planning that goes into something like that ahead of time.
Okay, let's go back about a week. Let's go back to the 12. So, give me an example of when you prepare. What do you mean by prepare? Because you don't cook until the day of, so you have to prepare right. All the other. So, and where do you prepare this?
Oh, so there's a shared use kitchen called Kitchen Chicago. That was one of the first shared use kitchens. There's a lot now.
Okay.
Especially after COVID, a lot of them started popping up. But Kitchen Chicago was one of the first shared use kitchens. It's still around. And so you pay hourly. So that keeps my overhead low. So instead of me having a dedicated space that I use all the time, I only rent space as needed for events. So, and that space has everything that you need, all the equipment, all the storage, stoves, refrigerators, walk-ins, everything that you need. Even had like basic ingredients, flour, sugar, things like that. And so that's what I would prepare things at. So, but yeah, so prep, it's called prep.
Okay.
So for whatever we're preparing, you get things all chopped up, diced, you get sauces made and, labeled and things like that. So that way the day of, you're just putting everything together.
So what's your staff look like? How many people actually work with you?
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen?
No more than about 6.
That's it?
Yeah, for 1,200 people. I know a lot of times people think that, their kitchens, it's a lot of people moving around the kitchen. No, not really. You really don't need that many people. And too many people, things, you lose control of quality then when there's too many people working in the kitchen. But yeah, for 1,200 people, I only need about 6 people.
So actually 6 people, 6 individuals who's actually cooking and preparing a dish for maybe 1,200. You're talking about a week to prep all this stuff.
Yeah.
So now when you prepping, are you prepping like 2 or 3 hours a day, all the way up to the day of the event?
No, usually about 6 to 8 hours a day.
Oh, okay. For 1,200 people.
Depending on what the menu is, how many items are on the menu, how labor intensive. Hors d'oeuvres and things take a lot more labor time than like entree. The whole trays full of meal. Like a tray of something, as opposed to individual appetizers. The appetizers take a lot more work.
Wow. What's the smallest group?
Romantic dinner for 2. Those are nice. We've had a lot of proposals.
Oh wow.
Come in, we'll come to your location. People rent special places for it.
Wow.
And we set up the entire thing. It's just like having a restaurant, but privately set up for you. We set up tablecloths, linens, flowers, the whole ambiance. And it's usually a surprise for whoever the guest is, usually the ladies. I have had some ladies do it for the guys too, which is really nice. And so then they come in and we're there. We're like, have a seat. This is your dinner for the evening. We print up special menus. I think those are really my favorite.
Wow.
It's really intimate. It's a lot of fun, and people really, really enjoy them.
Well, Diedra, just stay with me for a moment. We're going to take a little small break. We're going to come back and finish up some of these interesting gourmet style. So we'll be right back after this break. And we are back with Diedra Johnson, Gourmet Chef. So as I like to say that part, Gourmet Chef. um, you have set up for a romantic group of, individuals. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you, when catering for a large amount of people and you have transportation, so do you rent a truck? Do you rent cars to bring all this stuff to the facility? How? And,
Oh no, yeah, we rent a U-Haul
okay.
usually, and then equipment, serving equipment, things like that. They all gets rented,
Mm-hmm.
and because again, you try to keep your overhead low.
Right.
You don't want
Right.
to. I mean, large catering operations, they do have all these things on site, and I compete with some of the larger companies. I know one of my favorite jobs was when it was a bidding war between me and Blue Plate. And at the time, Blue Plate is like, they were number one as far as catering, and I beat out Blue Plate. That Yes, that was like, okay, yeah, I felt good.
Okay. Let's go back to the celebrities. Are they nice or bougie or?
Ooh, what do you want me to tell?
Oh yes,
Uh,
please share.
Most of them are nice. There are some that are demanding. I won't say who is demanding, but yeah, most of them are nice. But people think, oh, I want to cook for somebody famous. Maybe not, because they're very, very particular. They have very high standards. Um, yeah, it depends. So some of them are really nice and down to earth, and some of them are very divas
Oh.
and divos.
So if you could prepare a dish that represent you, what would it be?
These are the tough
That's
questions.
why you on Stewart Spotlight.
Okay. So outside of Creole, I would say my soul is Italian. I
Okay, I'm a little
I
bit lost on that
love
one now.
pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, I love pasta. So if I was to do anything that would represent me, it would have to be a combination of something Creole and Italian. I would
Oh.
probably, let's see. Yeah, I'd probably do a fusion, some type of jambalaya with risotto or something. Oh, that's really good now.
Really?
Because jambalaya is typically made with rice, but if you substitute the risotto or orzo, yeah, that's really good. I've done that before. So yeah, so anything that would be a fusion of Italian and Creole, that would represent me.
Okay. Um, is there any? What's the hardest part of being a chef? What? I know it has to be some challenges there.
The hardest part,
Mm-hmm.
um, probably I don't know, because I love creating new menus.
Mm-hmm.
I guess talking to people.
That's the hardest part of being a chef.
Right. So for me, because I think if you talk to a lot of chefs, because we love the food. So for us, it's about the food. And people think, oh, you love to cook for people. No, we really don't. It's about the food. So like we'll be at an event and the service will be like, oh, Chef D, they want you to come out and they want, talk to you. And I'm like, can they just be quiet and just eat the food? Leave me alone. Just eat the food. you
Okay.
know. But I go out and be like, oh, hello, and so do the schmoozing thing, and oh, thank you. But and I think if you talk to most chefs, we really don't like the people. It's the food. So the hardest part is probably talking to the people.
Okay. Wow. I never knew that.
I know
I
you weren't
thought I
expecting
thought the
that.
chef will always go out there. Yes, I cooked this. How did you enjoy it and things of that like that.
No, we do that, but honestly, we know it was delicious. We sent it out.
Okay. All right. I,
I'm so arrogant now. I'm just,
I didn't say a word. I'm just listening to you this time. So, is there any food that you don't enjoy cooking?
Liver.
I don't like liver.
Yeah, I think, and that comes from childhood probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it. I do it well, but as a child, my mom made liver, and then I would have to sit there and look at it, and she forced me to eat it. But I know it's really good for you, and I do it really well, but I don't. No, I don't.
I remember back in my childhood days, my mother used to try to make me have liver, and she would mix it in with rice.
Right? Yes.
I
Yep.
was
My
like,
mom did
I
too.
can
That
still
no.
taste
You
it.
just
Oh God.
now you ruined the rice.
Oh well, it was all right at that time, but
Oh no, I didn't. I wouldn't even
oh,
with rice. No, not to me. You've ruined the rice.
by putting the liver in it.
Yep, you ruined it.
Okay. I was just about to ask about what food instantly bring you back to childhood. I guess liver would.
Yep. Well, do good or bad now? Now,
Okay,
bad, yes.
bad or good, bad or good, either one. So,
Bad, yeah, liver.
what's the strangest food you have ever prepared for a customer?
The strangest. I don't think I've ventured out. Oh well, I'm not gonna say strange necessarily, but the
Odd,
first
the
the
odd.
first time I had to cook a live lobster. That was so sad.
Because you had to put the lobster in hot water and hear him holler.
Yes, but see, this is the thing. It's live. So, and this was for a romantic dinner. So, this is my very first time doing it. The water's boiling. I plunge it into the water, and he puts his claws out and like holds onto the side of the pot. Like, no. And I was like, oh, it knows it's going in the water. Because there's two ways to cook a live lobster. You either just go ahead and plunge it in the water, or you stab it in the back of the head with a knife right behind the brain. And I wasn't gonna do that. That's to this day I still won't do it that way. I put them in the water, because when you go in the water they go to sleep. But yeah, that's yeah. But other than that, I don't do any like the sea urchins. I use squid ink, but I've never. I mean, I don't think anything too weird. To me, all this stuff's like normal.
What about
Squid.
octopus, whatever that is?
No, I've never done octopus.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I don't like I said, I don't venture out into not too much.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, being a chef, I had to ask. Do you taste your food as you're cooking, or you cook it
Of
in?
course.
Well, some people I just cook
No,
it in.
no, who are these some people?
I've seen some people
How
who
are
just.
you serving something that you have not tasted? That's sacrilegious.
Well, I've.
So you taste the beginning, and the middle, and the end. You have to taste all the way through.
Okay.
I learned that from grandma. They also teach it in culinary school, but I learned that from grandma. You gotta taste. Don't be sitting. Give me first thing she says when I present her with something. Did you taste it? And you better say yeah. Did you like it? Yeah, because if you didn't like it, why are you giving it to
Don't
me?
bring
And
it to me, right?
that's true, right? How are you sending something out that you haven't tasted?
Wow. Okay. What is the simplest trick to make a food more appealing to the individual?
I guess how it looks on the plate. So it depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the easiest thing is just to arrange things on the plate in an appealing way. Don't just like you say you might just mix it all together. So no, have your starch, whatever, lay your protein across it, drizzle a little sauce or drizzle your sauce around the outside. And that's it. Just keep it simple.
Wow. That
You don't
sounds
have to do too much.
sounds
You don't have to like stick flowers in and rosemary sprig. You don't have to.
Now, is chef profitable?
Say it again?
Is being a chef profitable? Making a lot of money?
Yes. Well, it can be.
The only reason I'm asking because with everything is so high nowadays, all the food is so expensive. Is it, do you raise your price accordingly, or how does that work?
Yeah, you do have to raise your prices accordingly. It's more profitable if you can purchase in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
Shopping at the grocery stores, yeah, you're not gonna make much for that. And as a personal chef, that's mostly what I do. I shop in the grocery stores because I shop on the day of, whenever their order is, and then I prepare the meal and deliver it to them. So, but there are some things that I do try to purchase in bulk, like seasonings and things like that. Vegetables you always have to get fresh. But yeah, if you know how to price properly, yeah, it can be very profitable. Restaurant, now this is a misconception. People always assume that restaurants make a lot of money. So, and then you're always surprised when your favorite restaurant closes. You're like, "Oh, I don't understand why they closed. They were always busy." Restaurants have an insane overhead. So from the renting of the establishment, lights, gas, food purchasing, we even got to staff. And so when you see a restaurant, you're like, "Oh, it's busy, it's busy." Yeah, but are they making a profit? The average restaurant, if they're doing really well, makes a 30% profit. So for me, my profit margin is 50% because I don't have the large overhead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Now,
so yeah, it can be.
would you go and work for an establishment for a large restaurant?
I mean, I have. I worked for several different places. It was fun, but I do so more enjoy, first of all, working for myself, and I do like the intimacy of working for.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said romantic dinners are probably my favorite. But I
Mm-hmm.
like the intimacy of being a personal chef and working directly with clients. Restaurants are great, and a lot of times, um, and when I say intimacy, is as far as preparing the meals and what they like and don't like. I don't really still don't like to talk to them.
Okay, okay. I'll make sure. Do not talk to her, but she gonna make a good meal
Right.
for you.
Right. Tell me it'll be great. Don't want to talk to you about it. I really
All right.
don't.
Well, I got to show another video. This is a video of your desserts. Take a look at this.
Oh,
Okay, now tell me what was in that glass.
oh, that was probably the simplest one. That's yogurt,
Uh-huh.
um, fresh berries,
Uh-huh.
and granola.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was probably the simplest one.
Okay. So now if there's one cake I like, and it's this one. That looks
Oh,
so good and
That's the chocolate rum cake.
it looks so rich.
It is. It's very rich. So it's a chocolate cake that's made with rum, and then I make a rum simple syrup that's brushed on top of the cake. It's like I don't. I keep brushing it until it absorbs quite a bit of the simple syrup, and then the glaze on top is made with chocolate ganache and rum. So yes, yes, it's very rich, but it's really really good. It's very moist.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really
wow.
good.
So now how you keep it moist? Because if it sits out overnight, do you keep it in a container or
Everything's made fresh.
okay, you can't eat everything in one day.
Oh. Or once it leaves my hand, I don't know.
You don't know you
Whatever
don't care what is
what happens. But it
okay.
uses for like the rum cake, as long as you keep it like in a container, it's can pretty airtight
Okay.
and refrigerated, it'll stay moist for about 2 or 3 days. But
Okay. Okay.
my things are, especially the desserts, are made to be eaten right away. Now some of the other entrees and things I do for personal chefs can be frozen, but the desserts are made to be consumed
Right away.
immediately within a day or so.
Okay. I'm not mad. But
Okay.
that rum cake won't be going for one day. I can tell you that. It's gonna be a couple of days for that rum cake to go through.
It's small.
Okay. Diedra, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and explaining some of your fantastic dishes and the presentation and giving us some information about. Is it hard being a chef? I mean, is it hard to get in that field?
No, it's not hard to get in the field. You just really have to. Well, I tell people there's a difference between liking to cook and loving to cook. Because if you like to cook and you think you want to be a chef, they will suck the like right out of you. You will not like. You have to truly, truly love to cook. So my body gets tired. If I could take myself and put it in, I would keep going. I love to cook. And in order to be a chef and to be a really good one, you really, really have to love food and love what you do.
Okay, viewers, you heard it there first. If you want to get in contact with Miss Chef D, you can give her a call at 773-401-5356, or you can check out her website, or matter of fact, email her directly. However, your first order, if you mention Stewart Spotlight, you're going to get a special discount. How about that? What about that one now? Well, I like that part. So before we leave, would you like to give any kind of encouraging words for the people who's watching?
Oh, like people that are inspiring?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be if you're interested in getting into food service or something like that, I say definitely, give it a shot. It's very well worth it. But most of all, I want to encourage people that are interested in being entrepreneurs. There's nothing like working for yourself. So if you have a passion for something or are just interested in something, there is nothing like working for yourself. So I encourage all my people that have the entrepreneurial spirit.
All right. Like I said before, you heard it from Miss Johnson herself. Feel free to come back. Now, if you want to just ship me some of those cakes in the mail, I appreciate that.
I do ship now.
And also, you have a ordering.
Oh, chef. So yeah, so people who are not ready to commit to like a weekly meal service, you can order individual meals on Chef. That's Chef with an S, SHEF, chef.com. And you can go there and look up Chef Diedra, and you can order individual meals from me there in the Chicago area.
Wow. Okay. Well, Miss Johnson, I appreciate you coming on. Once again, congratulations and keep up the good work. And I'll be waiting for those cupcakes in the mail.
Yeah.
All right. You take care. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. There you go. You heard it there. Chef D. I'm so glad that she had the opportunity to come on and share some of her dish and some of the sweetness that just gives me a toothache right here. Oh, right here. Because I can just, okay. Never mind. Okay. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode this evening. I have a closing message that I want to share. I saved this message for a long time. It was for a special friend of mine in which she was scheduled to be on the show, but she's having some second thoughts because she don't want to say too much. But I'm going to read this because I was going to have this one message for her during when she was on the show. It says, "Don't put a period when God placed a comma, because your story isn't over yet." With that being said, I want to wish everyone have a safe and nice weekend. Until we meet again, God bless. Take care.